delete the cube, press 1 on the numpad to go to front view. We're going to add a cylinder, hold shift, press A, mesh cylinder. We're going to rotate it on the y-axis, RY90. We're going to scale it up on the x-axis, SX6. Right click and then select shade smooth. Go over here to object data properties, click on there, this triangle here, and then click on normals and then check auto smooth. We're going to go up here to the top right and click on this third circle, which is material view. Click on there, and then we're going to go down here to material properties, this beach ball icon, click on there and then click on new. And then where it says base color, click on that yellow dot and then go to image texture, open, and then find the file in your computer. You can download it, the link is in the description for the wood pattern. Okay, we're going to go up here and into the outliner, just rename the cylinder. We're going to name it winch, W-I-N-C-H. And I'm going to rename the material. We're going to name it wood. I'm going to add another cylinder, shift A, mesh cylinder. We're going to rotate it on the y-axis, RY90. We're going to scale it down, S.5. We're going to move it up on the z-axis, GZ9. We're going to move it over on the x-axis, GX4. Press period on the numpad. Go up close. We're going to scale it down on the x-axis, SX.25. We're going to duplicate it, Shift D. We're going to move the duplicate over on the x-axis, GX.5. Zoom out a little bit. We're going to duplicate again, Shift D. We're going to move the duplicate over on the x-axis, GX.5. And then we're just going to select these three and we're going to join them. Control J, join them. Zoom out. We're going to apply all transforms, hold Control, press A, apply all transforms. We're going to go over here to modifier properties, the wrench, click on there, add modifier. We're going to add a mirror modifier. Okay, now let's go back down here to material properties, and we're going to go up here like this, and we're going to give this the wood material. Let's zoom out a little bit, move this up. We're going to duplicate this, Shift D. We're going to move the duplicate down, GZ -30. And then these are pulleys. Okay, these are pulleys, so these are lower pulleys. So let's go here to the outliner. We're going to name these pulleys lower. And then name the upper ones pulleys upper. Okay, press 3 on the numpad to go to side view. Select both sets of pulleys so that the upper one is selected. Now shift select the lower one, and we're going to move these over on the y-axis, GY -3. And then you can go here to the outliner and just select the winch and then press period on the numpad. Takes you up close. We can go in closer. We're going to add a single vert, Shift A, mesh. Go down here, single vert, add single vert. If you don't have this, this is an add-on. You can just go up here to edit and then preferences. And then in the search put in extra, EXTRA. And these two entries will come up. For the single vert, you need the mesh extra objects and just click on there. But later we're going to need a curve extra object, so you might as well click on there to check that one too. Let's close this. Okay, let's add the single vert, Shift A, mesh, single vert, add single vert, and there it is in the middle. You want to make sure you're in vertex select. It may be automatic, but I'm not sure. So this is vertex select up here. Click on there. We're going to move this on the y-axis, GY 1.03, enter, and you can see it moved it right over here. Let's turn the winch, and that single vert is still selected. Let's just go to modifier properties, the wrench, add modifier. We're going to add a screw. We're going to put the screw value to 0.1, and then we're going to put the iterations to 25. And we're going to put it on the x-axis. The x-axis. Let's turn this. Press tab to go into object mode, and then go over here to this object column, click on there, and then convert to curve. And then press tab again to go back into edit mode. You'll see this white vertex is selected. Just click on it and it'll stay white, but then the rest will be deselected. Press 3 on the numpad to go back to side view. And we're going to extrude up EZ.2, enter. You can see we extrude up another vertex there. Zoom out, and and put the cursor near the vertex there, and then we're going to extrude it up manually. E, and you move it up here to the upper pulley. Press period on the numpad, takes you to eye level, zoom in. Press G, and then just move it to right about here. We're going to extrude again, E, make a nice diagonal segment like that. Then E, we're going to make a nice horizontal segment the same length, and then another diagonal in the other direction, like that. And we're going to extrude down, EZ, -30. Then we're going to press period on the numpad, takes us down there, then press GZ, just move it down right about there, and then we're going to extrude again, E, make another diagonal segment like that, another horizontal segment, E, E, another diagonal segment, the other direction, E. Then we're going to extrude up, EZ30, extrude up to the upper pulley there, press period on the numpad, takes you up there, and then just G, and just line this up with that first vertex. Okay, press 1 on the numpad to go to front view. We're going to move that. We're going to move it over on the x-axis, GX.5. Move this that last vertex over. Okay, press 3 on the numpad to go back to side view. That's still selected. We're going to keep extruding. E. We're going to line these up with that first set of vertices. E. Line them up. E. And then we're going to extrude down to the lower pulley, EZ, -30. Period on the numpad, press G, and then line it up again with that, and then extrude again, E, line them up, E, E, and then extrude up, EZ30, period on the numpad, and that takes it right where it needs to be. Just leave it there. Press 1 on the numpad to go back to front view. Press tab to go into object mode. We're going to just move this over on the x-axis, the whole thing. GX. Move it over like this, so these are lined up in the middle here, between the pulleys, lined up, you know, right there in the center of those, both of these. Okay, we're going to go up here to the outliner, and where it says vert is this. We're going to rename it. We're going to name it rope path. Okay. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to let's go into wireframe view and just zoom in here on this on the 3D cursor, and we're going to add a mesh circle. Shift A, mesh circle. Okay, now you can't see it. It's been added, but you can't see it because it's lying flat. So we're going to rotate it on the x-axis, RX90. Okay. Let's zoom in, and what we're going to do is we're going to scale this down by 50, S.02, and you can see it got really small there. You can press period on the numpad, takes you up closer. You can zoom out a little bit. We're going to duplicate this, Shift D. We're going to move the duplicate over on the x-axis, GX. Move it so they're side by side, and then Shift click so they're both selected. And we're going to move this back, GX. Move it so the part where they're joined is in the middle there. Right there, and we're going to duplicate this, Shift D, and we're going to rotate the duplicate on the Z-axis, RZ90. And then you can see we have 2 pairs of these circles perpendicular to each other, joined in the middle. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to press Shift and just select all 4 of them. Then you want to join them. Hold Control, press J, join, and then you want to apply all transforms. Hold Control, press A, apply all transforms. And then we want to duplicate these about 10 times. Shift D, left click, Shift D, left click. Keep duplicating until you get about 10. Then we're going to go over, we're going to hide all the duplicates like this. Press the I, okay, and then just select the first one. You click on there, and when the letters are orange, that means it's selected. Let's zoom out, and we're going to add another. We're going to add a modifier here. Add modifier. We're going to. It's going to be screw. The screw modifier. The screw value is going to be 0.1, and then the iteration is going to be 700. And you can see this here. Then we're going to go back into material view, and let's just zoom in. And we made a rope. Okay, so we're going to put this rope on that rope path. We can give it a material. Go here to material properties, new, and then base color, and then Okay, we can give it yeah, color like this. Let's see, let's look, see how that looks. Yeah, it's about right. And let's just name the material. We'll name it rope. Now let's go back to modifier. So we have the screw modifier on this. Now we're going to add another modifier. We're going to add the curve modifier. And the curve object, click on this little box, and the curve object is going to be rope path, the rope path we made. Okay, and then the deform axis is going to be Z. And you can see that puts it, oh, something happened there. Let's back up. Okay. You know what? I think I forgot to, let's go back here. I forgot to apply all transforms when I moved the, this rope path. So what we do is just hold Control, press A, apply all transforms. Okay. Now let's go back to that rope thing, and again let's do the curve object, rope path, and then the deform axis is Z, and then you see now it put it right there on the rope path. It's not exactly where it needs to be. We need to move it on the Z axis, so we go GZ 93. And it moved it, so it's wrapping around the winch. That's how you want it. And then you want this ending right here at the lower pulley. Okay, let's go up here to the outliner. Let's just name this rope segment 1. Okay, let's go to the next circle and unhide it and select it. Add modifier, screw, the screw value 0.1. And this time the iteration is going to be 608. And then let's give it the curve modifier, curve. Curve object is going to be the rope path. And the deform axis is going to be Z. Okay, and then again, this one needs to be moved, so it's like right behind the first one, where the beginning is right behind the first one. So we're going to move it on the Z-axis, GZ31, and that moves it where it needs to be. Let's name this rope segment 2. Okay, now let's go to the next circle, unhide it, and then select it. Add modifier, screw value 0.1. And then iterations on this one's going to be 301. And then we're going to add the curve modifier. Curve object is going to be the rope path. Deform axis is going to be Z. And then we're going to rename this. Name this rope segment 3. Okay, now get those 3 rope segments. Let's give this the rope material. Go up here, rope, and then rope segment 2, give it the rope material. Okay, so there you go. They got their materials. Press 1 on the numpad. What we're going to do is we're going to add a cube. Shift A, mesh, cube. Press G and just move the cube like about here. Press period on the numpad, takes you up close. We're going to scale this in on the x-axis, SX. Make it so it's just a little bit wider than the ropes. Press 3 on the numpad to go to side view. We're going to move this on the y-axis, GY, move it right here. Press period on the numpad, takes you up close, and then we're going to scale it down on the y-axis, SY. So it's just a little bit wider than the ropes. Press 1 on the numpad, zoom out, and we're going to scale this up on the z-axis, SZ15. Then we're going to move it down on the z-axis, GZ. You're going to move it down so the top is right there in the middle of the lower pulley there on the from top to bottom on the z-axis. Okay, that's right there. That's good. Let's go over here to object properties, the square. Click on there, and then go down to visibility, and then where it says show on renders, disable that so you don't see it in renders. And then viewport display, click on there, and then go down here to display as and change it from textured to wire. Okay, now this is not going to be seen in the final render, but this is going to be used. This is going to be used to help us in the animation. Okay, so what we're going to do is, with that cube selector, we're going to duplicate it a couple times. Shift-D, left-click, Shift-D, left-click. We're going to rename these, name these. Okay, so cube. So we're going to name one is going to be Boolean 1, B-O-O-L-E-A-N 1. Okay, and then the next one, name it Boolean 2, B-O-O-L-E-A-N 2. And then the third one, Boolean 3, B-O-O-L-E-A-N 3. And you see these moved up in the outliner. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go down here to rope segment 1 in the outliner, just select that, and we're going to give it a modifier. So click here on modifier properties, the wrench, and give this another modifier, add modifier. We're going to give it the Boolean modifier. And as soon as you see this Boolean modifier, go down here to solver and click on fast. You want to remember to do that, because if you leave it on exact, it's going to move really slowly. Okay, and then for object is going to be Boolean 1. Okay, so for rope segment 1, the Boolean object is going to be Boolean 1. And the way this works is this is going to help us in the animation. It's going to be a little bit of kind of sleight of hand. So when in the animation, we're going to have the lower pulley moving up. We're going to be, turning the winch, and the lower pulley is going to move up, and then we're going to make it look like the lower pulley is pulling the ropes up. But really what we're going to do is we're just going to make the rope disappear from the bottom up. So this modifier will help us do that. So whenever you have a Boolean modifier with the difference here, wherever these two objects overlap, the object that you're putting the modifier on, rope segment 1, is going to be invisible. So, and then we're going to parent these booleans to the lower pulley. So as the lower pulley moves up, this is going to move up, and it's going to start overlapping with the rope as it goes up from the bottom up. It's just going to make it disappear from the bottom up, and that's how it's going to look like we're pulling the ropes up. Okay, rope segment 2. We're going to do the same thing. Add modifier. It's going to be the Boolean modifier. Solver fast. Don't forget that. Object Boolean 2. Takes a second. Okay, and then go to front view here. This will demonstrate it a little bit. So just you can look. We have this. This is so click on rope segment 3. Select rope segment 3. You can see it's down here under in where they're overlapping with the Boolean. So what we're going to do is add the modifier Boolean, solver fast, and then object is going to be Boolean 3, and you'll see that this is going to disappear. See, and that's how it works. It overlaps and then makes it invisible. Okay, what we need to do is go back up here to Boolean 1. And we need to parent this now that we're thinking about it, parent it to the lower pulley. So with this selected, hold shift and select the lower pulley here, and then hold control, press P, and set parent to object. And when something's parented, that means it's going to move with it in the animation. So when the pulley goes up, the Boolean will go up with it.